hey, look, there's a position that could be open
Okay,
for
wait a
you.
minute. You know what? Wait a minute. Because Tears, I wish she could get up here. I really do. Tears, let me explain something to you, Mama. You think you know what's going on because I can tell, like you are speaking with such conviction, but you just have inaccurate information. Yeah, trust me. I saw the Rogers Lifetime interview. I was contacted by Lifetime. I was actually supposed to be on the second part of Lifetime. I still have that contract. They had to let me know what was being said. I also have an entire recording, and I guess people think I really don't have this recording because it hasn't been released yet, but I actually have an entire recording of the dinner with the Rogers and Summer Bunny, who was present, and my colleague from the magazine, who was also present, because it wasn't just me, Kelly, Faith, and my cousin. There were
Okay.
also other individuals who were present. And in that conversation, the conversation is an hour and 30 minutes long. You will hear no threats. You will hear laughter. You will hear food being ordered. I paid for Kelly's dinner, not because she didn't have the money, but I just paid for it because, we met up quickly. So
Right.
she left her wallet
You're
at the
being a
hotel or
host.
whatever.
Okay.
And another thing about that night that people have confused, because I saw a lot of this with Dawn, I never made it to the screening. So let's be clear. Was I talking to Don, days leading up to the screening and stuff like that? Yes. Was I trying to get in good on that side? Yes. But the first night with the dinner and all of that, did they actually have a dinner Lifetime? Yes, they did. Jonjolyn wanted me to be there, but I was still in Miami. So while Don is thinking that I'm in New York and oh my God, I was supposed to be at this dinner, but they won't let us in. And he's like, okay, well, stay away if you're not supposed to be in. I wasn't even in New York. I was in Miami. The feds know that. I was not there.
Mm.
The next day, I'm giving him a play by play of stuff I'm not even present for. I'm literally like getting off the plane, like, oh, yeah, we're doing interviews right now. Da, da, da. If you hear me calling you Rick, then, you
Right,
know
because they
why.
have they had conversations,
Right,
text messages between you guys and stuff. Right.
right. But see, the feds know I was never there. So there is no way that I could have really been in it with him because I wasn't there. Like, when we got
So, in
there,
other words, you're saying that Don used you to kind of cover up his tracks. Is
well,
that
I
what you're
honestly,
saying?
I would really say that Don got played because he thought he had a partner in me, I guess you would say, but I'm a journalist. First of all,
Right.
I'm
You
not
have an oath.
committing any
That's
crime.
that's another thing. You have an oath that you took, right, as a journalist, and you have to go by code and ethics. Am I correct?
Yeah, but I didn't.
Right.
I
That's what
didn't.
I'm
That's the
saying. That's
thing.
why. That's why a lot of people that do know what your profession is are confused as to what happened. Why is it that you were able to be the face of R. Kelly and people are throwing you in the mix of the thing because allegedly you had to deal with some type of form of intimidation towards witnesses.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. But Kelly, I understand that you have to keep up your act because you went as far as telling the feds this story. It was already messed up when you went on Lifetime. And I'm saying this respectfully. I'm not trying to disrespect anybody, but it was already messed up enough when you went on Lifetime and you told this story. The only reason they didn't use my name is because I threatened to sue them. I still have the conversations and recordings when I was talking to producers and they knew that the story was not real because I had to let them know that there was no gun. I had to let them know that the story was not real. That was the reason why my name was not used. The night that it aired, the night that it aired on Lifetime, I contacted the producers. I still have those messages when I was like, y'all are total scum because you know the truth, yet you still let them go on national TV and tell this lie. Their explanation, oh, Cash, we tried to get you to come on and tell your side. And I'm like, why would I have to come on and tell my side to something that's not true and you know it's not true? but they wanted the juice. They wanted those stories,
Right.
period.
So that's, oh boy.
And I'm not snitching on myself because I didn't do anything. So there's nothing to snitch on.
Right. Right. Mama Rogers.
And when I interviewed with Larry, I don't know if y'all remember that, he took it down because Larry tried to cut me off before I got to that point. And this was years ago before that drop. I'm pretty sure y'all remember when I got upset and I said, "You lied to Lifetime on me." And she was in the chat and said, "How would you know what I said to Lifetime in my interview?"
Mm.
And it's okay because the recording is going to come out publicly. So everybody is going to hear on a large platform what took place.
Do you still have your podcast, Trapped in the Saga?
None of that stuff was ever real. See, this is why I'm saying when the story comes out, you'll see what was what, but none of that stuff was ever going to be a real podcast. Certain things were
Okay.
done because of certain people I was dealing with behind the scenes and what they thought.
And what about the other book that you have that was supposed to be out? I forgot the title of it.
I am coming out with a book, but those
Yeah,
books, they were all dummies. It was all stuff just to throw people off. Or when you're dealing with people behind the scenes and people think that you're a part of,
who are involved, who are speaking their truths, but they're only saying half truths because somehow, some way, they have to protect something.
yeah. And that's the whole thing. For me, like, I'm admitting my faults. Like when you do see what does come out, I'm going to be 100% transparent about every mistake I made, what I did do versus what I didn't do.
Right.
And you can keep saying I covered my ass so that I didn't get arrested, but you can't cover anything from the federal government. This is not the state police. This is not the county police.
Right.
These are the feds.
Yeah.
So I would be arrested had I done the things that have been said.
So, have you ever apologized to the Rogers as far as your involvement?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Um, I thought about apologizing to the Savages.
Okay.
Um, but when it came down to the Rogers, like I said, I had respect for them. But once the situation happened where there were things that weren't true that were said about me, it made me feel away, as it would make anybody feel away. It would make
Mm.
anybody feel away. I had the utmost respect for Kelly and Faith. And when I sat at that table, she cannot say that I did not say to Faith, like, "You're young, you're beautiful, you're this."
Right.
Faith was upset. Faith was going through the motions. Hell, a gun threat had just been called in. So Faith didn't even stay at the table as long as me and Kelly and the others did or whatnot.
Right. So,
But, you know,
well, Mama Rogers just said that you have her number and that you're free to call her. If you guys, want to like hash that shit out behind the scenes. I mean, you know, I just feel one adult to another that this whole
it
thing
just
with
got
R.
out of
Kelly
hand.
has ruined a lot of lives. Yes, exactly what you said there. It's got out of hand, and people's lives are ruined behind sticking up for this man who people really don't know,
Oh, and
but
I'm
they
not ignoring the
idolize
car.
him.
Wait a minute. I'm not ignoring the car. It's just a lot to unpack. But when it comes down to the car, no, I didn't send anybody. Like, did he go? Yeah, he went and whatever happened, happened.
Oh,
Wasn't there. So was he there or was he not there? Because
Wait,
there's
was who there?
conflicting stories. Huh?
say,
This is a problem here because there's reports saying that the cousin wasn't there, and then now it's reports that he was there.
Wait,
So
he was
what's
where?
the
He
real
was
story?
where?
He was there at the restaurant with the
Yeah,
gun.
okay, let's be clear about this. We never made it to the screening. We never made it to the screening. I was already running late. So by the time that we were about to hit the corner to park, Jonjolin was already calling me and saying, "It's over, it's over." Somebody called in. I don't know if it was a gun or a bomb, but somebody called in a threat. So she's like, "Just come to the hotel everybody's going to the hotel. So that's how I ended up with them. I never actually made it to the screening.
Okay, okay. So
None of us
Angela,
did.
let's talk about that screen because the court documents also have your name, Cavante Jones, in those
Hmm.
text messages with Don Russell.
Right.
Right.
They
Maybe she wasn't
probably
on when I said this earlier. When I was
No.
texting Dawn,
I was here. I was
I
here.
was not, yeah, I was not where I said I was. And the feds know that. So when I was telling Dawn, oh, yeah, I'm here, I was still in Miami. When I eventually got to the hotel and stuff, we're at the hotel. We're not at the screening. And Jongelyn knows that we never made it to
Okay,
the
okay, I'm not
screening.
talking to you about. I'm talking to you about your name being mentioned that you exchanged text messages
Right.
with
I'm not
Don
denying
Russell.
the text love. What I'm telling you is Dawn was being played. He thought I was at the screening. I was never at the screening.
Oh, so she
The
was saying she
places
played
that
him.
he
She
Go ahead, I'm
played
sorry.
him. She.
The places he thought I wasn't. He thought I was in New York a whole day before I ever even made it to New York.
Mm.
See, here's what's confusing. What would be the purpose of doing all of that? You want to play him, say that you in Miami. I mean, you're not in New York. You're in Miami.
Well,
Like,
because the point was we were trying to get close to the camp.
Right.
So they're not going to just let you in the camp. Period. Now, was it messy? Yes, it was messy. But the point is, if somebody feels like you're helpful or they feel like you're doing this or you're doing that, then it's like, okay, I could fuck with this person because she helping me out, she doing whatever. So yeah, I think she's solid. Like, I mean, that's just what it was. That's what it was.
I can't, I can't, I can't. This is sad. This is actually sad. It's kind
I
of
mean, it could be sad, but it's the reality of what
It's
happened. It's no
crazy.
different than an undercover agent. Tears really think I'm sorry. It's really sad how inaccurate she is. Actually, Tears,
the
how
meaning
about this?
behind.
I found out that there was another person who was actually present with my cousin when this took place. And I found that out, of course, through the lawyers and everything when he was going through what he was going through. And had the opportunity to speak with that person. Actually, Angelo shot at my cousin and this person. And then they lied to the police and told the police they were shot at. So, you know, I
Oh
mean,
wow.
it depends on how much information you really want to know, sweetie, because you really got the story wrong. You really got the
Wow.
story wrong.
So I mean, because he had
No,
your back.
no. R. Kelly would never let a man around him with me. I tried my
Oh.
hardest, even when I was dealing with BuzzFeed. I tried my hardest. I was talking to production, trying to figure out how to get my cousin in there with me because I didn't necessarily know if I was safe based on everything I was hearing.
Mm.
And them finding out I was a journalist and everything. And for him, it was like, hell no. If you can't come by yourself, then no. Like, so he's never been around my cousin, never talked to my cousin or anything like that. But Angelo has. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. So that's pretty much basically why they probably didn't attach your cousin to R. Kelly, because in reality they knew they had evidence that he really didn't know him.
but see, but they attached it in the media. They attached it in the public,
Right. I
you know?
mean, but the ones who are really into the case, like me, knew better. A lot of us know better what's going on. So, um, we um, we figured that it basically had to do with beef between you and Angelo. Is that true?
I believe so. I
Okay.
do. I believe
Okay.
so. And I mean it's other elements to that.
Right. Right.
It's a lot of stuff that was going on behind the scenes with me and Angelo. So, you
Right.
know, aside from the draggings on YouTube. How would your cousin know about Angelo if you didn't tell him then it was you? First of all, sweetheart, my cousin met Angelo the same night that I met Angelo at the the hotel after the screening. So my cousin met Angelo in person. My cousin had Angelo's phone number. Angelo had my cousin's phone number. They've spoke on the phone. They've met in Orlando outside of me. So they've texted all of this. So I didn't have to tell him about Angelo. He's met Angelo. He's talked to Angelo. Well, Tears, honestly, I gave you more credit, but you actually are acting dumb right now because what you're going with, it just isn't true. But I mean, you're entitled to think whatever it is you want to, sweetie. Like, that's crazy. Obviously, there was beef going on, like, period. I don't have to tell my cousin to do anything for him to do something, period.
Cash,
Yeah, I'm here.
Cash, do you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Mama Rogers is on the phone now. Go ahead, Mama Rogers.
Hello.
Do you hear her? Oh,
It's down.
okay, baby. Go ahead. Now you could talk, sweetheart.
Me or Mrs. Rogers?
Mrs. Rogers.
No, hello, Miss Jones. How are you?
Hello, Mrs. Rogers. How are you?
I'm good. I was doing all right till I get the message that you're on this live discussing me. So
Well, I
whoever.
was asked about you as well as
Okay,
everything
Yeah,
else.
wait. Cash, let her finish her statement, Mama, please.
but here's what I have to say
Mhm.
to you. I don't discuss you, Miss Jones. And
Mhm.
if you have any questions in regards to what you feel I've lied that you feel,
Mhm.
because a feeling is just that, a feeling
Right.
that I've lied about or
Mhm.
I've got on Lifetime and lied about.
Mhm.
You know my number. You've had my number,
Mhm.
and that's probably how Mr. Russell got my number. Nevertheless, some of what you're saying is the truth,
Okay.
and some of it is not.
Okay,
And
so not to cut you off, but I just want
let's
to say
just
this
Wait,
before you finish. I do have the recording. So go
wait.
ahead. Go ahead.
me. Excuse me. I'm a treat you
Go
as
ahead, Mama. Go
as
ahead,
you
Mama.
are. Don't overtalk me, and respect the fact that I'm at, and since you chose to come out the day after your partner, this is the one time and the last time. You, among others, have trashed my child, my young lady, my young woman, because she was a child
I've
at the
never
time.
trashed Faith, but okay.
Over, over, and over and over. No, I've never. I've heard. I mean, that tape you and Tim did, where he said Faith was lying.
And
Okay, well,
you
are you
heard
going
Tim
back to
talking.
that? Huh?
You
Yeah. No,
heard
I
Tim
heard you
talking.
say. No, yeah,
I
I
said
heard you
one
say.
thing. I said
No,
one
you said
thing.
one thing. You did. You said, I'm not sure about faith, whatever that meant.
And when I said that, let me explain why I said that.
But
I
wait,
said that only because Tim
Cash,
had started saying what he said.
okay, Cash, let me say this.
Go
When
ahead.
you made that statement, I didn't take it in a negative light. I took it that you was unsure of whatever you heard. That's how I took it. So, and in spite of what Tim said that day before, what he's saying now is that he
Mhm.
was heated in the moment, which I know, and whatever And I came in on the live at in the middle of it when you said I was mad as what I don't whatever the word whatever you said I don't know, so I can't even speak to that. But yes, when you
Mm-hmm.
Mama, you went on mute.
this has been over 3 years, so
Mm-hmm.
sometimes people forget things.
Right.
I came downstairs after all the commotion. You were downstairs. Do you recall me and you asked me to walk over here to the side and me and
What
you
I
said together?
recall, what I
Do you recall
recall
that?
is me sitting down on the couch with
No, I
Jory
was on the couch.
because Tim went upstairs to see what was going on with Jongelyn. And also, let's
And
not
I
forget, my
had
colleague from the magazine was also present. And you walked up and you said, "Hey, Cash." And I said, "Hey, Kelly." And you said, "How did you know it was me?" Because we had never met in person.
no,
And I said,
no,
"Well, I've seen your
tell
pictures
the truth.
before."
Tell the truth.
I am telling the truth. I mean,
No,
you keep forgetting, Kelly,
okay.
that there were other people present.
I'm gonna say
Summer Bunny
this
was
to
present. My colleague from the
you. It sure
magazine was
was.
present. There were other people present that can attest to what took place. So I have no, Kelly, I had the utmost respect for you. When you sat down and you
So,
talked to me
so let me
at
say
that
this.
table and
You
you put me
asked
up
me
on
All right.
game,
Wait,
what
wait,
makes
wait,
you
wait,
not
wait.
have
One at a
respect for
go
time.
me?
ahead. Go ahead.
You said you had the utmost respect. First of all, you don't know of me to respect me. Oh, you all
The
you
way
know of
you
me
approached the
is what you
situation initially, I did have respect for you. And I thought that you were good, wholesome people. So I had no reason to not
got.
respect
Well,
you
I will
or
tell you,
hold you
Cash,
to
that in
a high
spite of what
regard.
you think of me or my family, we are very good, wholesome people.
Right.
But
So I had no reason to not hold you
what
to a high regard.
what I'm saying to you today, when I originally met you, yes, John Dillon added you to the call and told me you were their publicist. That is true. That's true. The part that you're saying where Tim came down and said, I know he was very abrupt with you, or I know who you are, or what I, but as I look back, it was all part of the game. They knew who you were. They knew why you were there. We didn't know why you were there. We
I
didn't know
was
why
there
you were
because
there.
I was invited there by the
Well, wait,
Savages.
can you
Otherwise, I
let
would
me
not have been
finish?
there.
If you let me finish,
Go
ma'am,
ahead.
I'm gonna get to that.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna get to that.
Thank you, Cash.
No, I didn't know I didn't know how you got there, but later on I found out how you got there because you were invited. Yes, you were invited by the people you were representing. Yes, that's true.
Would
That
you?
that part is true. But all of this, you know nothing about the Rogers, and I don't care what you
Not
hear
trying to.
in this street. But I'm asking you, please keep us out of your conversation. I don't
Okay, well,
discuss you. Listen, let me finish, and then I might decide whether I want to hear anything any further. I don't know you. We sat at that table. You said what you said. Faith said what she had to say, and Faith got on. See, this is a joke to y'all because after Faith left there, my child could have lost her life because you people continually threaten, harm, talk about
Kelly,
Dr.
no threats were made at that table. And when this recording
No, no,
comes
no,
out
no,
on
no,
the
no.
platform it's coming out on, you're
Wait,
making
she
a
didn't
fool
say
out of
the
yourself.
table. She didn't
I
say at
didn't
the
say
table.
at the table.
I've never
I
threatened
said,
Faith.
no, you
So
did
you
not
when you
threaten
saying
her
you
at the
people,
table.
you're addressing me. I've never threatened Faith.
No, you have not. You did not.
She said
You did not.
people.
I said people. I'm talking in general. All this. This is a mess. Behind a man that half of you know. And I could care less about how you knew him, how you met him, when you was in the elevator taking pictures for the Savages, showing
Exactly.
what floor you were on, going
Exactly.
up to the. I could care less about that. My concern is faith.
Right.
Anything, and I can recall you telling me how Julius Darrington told you. Do you remember our very first conversation? How
Yeah.
you were telling me Julius Darrington called my daughter the whatever he called her. That was me and your first conversation, and
I
me and
remember.
your last conversation until we met each other at the hotel.
True.
And we ain't had a conversation since. But I'm asking you today, keep me out of your conversation, because what goes on with the Rogers, first of all, you ain't being paid for discussing me or my child, my daughter.
Right.
She don't deal with you. Nobody that's on YouTube. She doesn't discuss art. The whole 3 years. Have you seen my daughter? Because I know you peeping. Post anything in regards to R. Kelly? No, because she's trying to put that part of her life behind her.
Right.
But people in this YouTube world continue to bully, try to continue to intimidate her, and I'm not
I
concerned.
have
Y'all
nothing to
can
do with
say
that.
what you want about me because you don't know me. Know me. You met me at one time in a situation, and yes, whether you saw it or not, whoever the gentleman, your bodyguard,
My
asked you to
cousin did
go.
not have a gun, Miss Rogers. Period. He
Okay,
did not have a gun.
well,
He's not allowed to have a gun. He couldn't get through the airport with a gun. We had no
maybe it
reason.
wasn't a gun. Maybe it wasn't, but whatever he had in his side pocket on his belt loop, that's what it appeared to be to me. And you did not see it because you were already sitting down at the table with whoever your other publicist friend was, and Summer and Faith. So
Okay, but I also did not
what you know?
say that if you don't do something, that this is going to happen. When you make comments like that, this is
Who
why
said
I'm speaking
who
on you
said that?
because you
Who
put me in
said
a
I said that you
situation.
don't do something? You did say you did make the comment. Think back.
I
That
have
is,
the recording. I don't have to think back. I can listen to it every
oh,
day.
I mean, well,
What is it that
okay,
you're saying I said?
so what I'm telling you, when you decide, because you recorded me illegally,
No, I didn't. And New York is a one-way state. It's a one-way consent state.
well,
There was no illegal recording.
and I'm sure you're taping this right now. I don't care if it's
It's on
one way,
YouTube Live. I don't have to record this. It's being
two-way,
recorded.
three-way, four-way, whatever way. I'm telling you, Mrs. Jones, you know
Hmm.
nothing about the Rogers
I
other
don't want to
than
know
your
anything
one
about you. What I do know about you is you went on national TV.
okay? Okay? Write your books, make your paper. You're a very good writer. Make do what you gotta do to put money in your pocket. But please don't include us. I don't you're as I should be a non-factor to you, you're clearly that to me. So stop talking about the Rogers. Okay? I can stand up for my family because I know what we are and I know who we are and I know whose we are. But some people choose to assume, oh, and to make the record clear for all of y'all, whoever you are, talking about we want money, we want this, honey, we work for everything we have, and thank God He has blessed us enough to work. R. Kelly didn't pay for Facebook, so the world can quit saying that. He has not paid for anything for my child. Her parents take care of her and all their children. And we're not looking for a church. We've been a church since 1995. So
Amen.
that's the other lie people can stop putting out there. I'm in search of peace for my child.
Right.
But she can't get it because it's people like you
Right.
and some others that continually choose to have her name or her parents' name in their mouth. And if the shoes were reversed, I don't think if you had some children or a daughter that has gone through everything that you have watched behind the scenes and are very aware of, and you still choose to make money off of it, it says a lot about you as a young lady. Because a dime representing and talking about R. Kelly, I wouldn't want that dirty money in my pocket. But I'm asking you today, Miss Jones, please keep me out of your conversations. I'm not discussing you. And if you want to be as intelligent as you are, you have my phone number. And if it's something you'd like to discuss with me, call me. You have my number because I don't know you to have something again. I'm not mad at you for what went on in New York.
I'm gonna let
Actually,
her speak.
Were upset because of the conversation with Tim and what I said, or then y'all just flat out lied? I mean, it's one or the other because you made it like I blackmailed you. I did not blackmail you. That was never my energy whatsoever at all. That was
you
never
said
my energy.
I made you feel that way. I don't know
No,
what
that's
part
what was
you
said on Lifetime. That's what was said on Lifetime, that an
what did
anonymous R. Kelly employee approached you and that they tried to lure Faith into this car. All of this stuff was said that
that
wasn't
was
true.
how they labeled you, Cash. I didn't label you that way. So be mad at Lifetime. Lifetime said a lot of things that people didn't say and use verbiage that wasn't said.
Okay, well,
What was
I'm
it?
gonna say
What
this. I'm
was
gonna
it
say
your
this. When
verbiage?
they called me, they made it like this came directly from your mouth. When Sudie called me and she was talking to me, that is what was said. They said that
Okay,
you
well
said
let
I
me
had a gun and I blackmailed you, and I'm like, wait a minute, I
okay,
didn't.
Miss Jones, let me and I'm telling you the God honest truth. What I said when you heard whatever came out of my mouth on Lifetime in the segment with me and my husband, that was all that was said at that moment. I have had no conversation with anyone in Lifetime in regards to that what you're stating. And you can believe it or not. That's totally up to you.
Grown little boy, you have something you want to say, puppy?
I'm gonna let Miss Rogers finish.
Okay.
But I'm up to I am I'm you know I in 3 years I chose not to go but today just wasn't a day. Today just wasn't a day that I have to chime. You know, it's dawn yesterday, totally lying. Then here you are today with your mouth on us. Leave the Rogers alone. We aren't in. We
Listen, the
aren't.
only reason you were even spoken on, it's not to bash you, Kelly. It's definitely not to bash Faith because that's
I'm
not the
your
energy I
elder.
have
It's
towards your
Miss
daughter.
Kelly. It's Miss
Miss
Rogers.
Kelly, Miss Rogers, yes.
I'm your elder. I'm Miss Rogers.
Okay, so it's Kelly at Applebee's. Now it's Miss Rogers. Okay, well, Mrs. Rogers,
And see, you
me
trying to
coming
be
on
so
here
petty.
wasn't about
Well, I'm
bashing
gonna get
you.
off.
It
Well,
wasn't about
Cash, if I
bashing your
start
daughter.
talking to you, I'm not gonna. I don't allow people to don't disrespect me because you're being disrespectful as far as I'm concerned, and I'm not being disrespectful towards you. And if you're gonna talk to me, you talk to me like the woman you are, as I'm talking to you. Don't all that sarcasm. I'm not 25. I'm not 35. I'm not them chicks on the street, and I'm not them people you write novels about and dreams about. I'm not them, and I don't care how you talk to somebody else. I don't allow my daughters to talk to me any kind of way, and I'm not gonna allow you when you're the same age as one of my daughters. So all of the he and all of that, I don't have time for it. So Cash, I'm just asking you, an adult woman to a young woman, please keep the Rogers out of your conversation. I respect that you say what you say, but just if you have questions about what Lifetime or somebody I said, you have my number, and I'm telling you personally, when you call me and you record it, you can ask me whatever you choose, okay? But I'm done with this. D, I
Thank you, Mama.
appreciate you calling me because today's just not a good day. But Cash, I wish you the best. Um, and and I'm asking you directly. Just leave the Rogers out your comments. I'm not discussing you. Haven't discussed you since New York. Haven't discussed your name since I said what I said on Lifetime. And whatever Lifetime told you to get a reaction out of you, because that's probably what they got, caused you to tip over into something else. I'm sorry they did that to you, but uh, I didn't sit with you long enough to really place judgment on you. I knew you were there to do a job, whatever you will sit there for it. You didn't get what you wanted. However, the stress of it caused my daughter to have a seizure. She could have died that night. And see, I don't take that lightly.
Right.
I
Right.
don't take it lightly.
Right.
But you have a good day, and D,
I love you,
uh,
Mama. And
yeah.
thank you so much. And I'm glad you wanted to come over and have the opportunity to
Today's
speak
not
your
a good day.
piece.
No, it's just not. It's just not a good day. And like I said, nobody knows what these victims go through.
That's right.
Go through in the course of a day.
That's right.
Nobody knows that when they get on they're saying something.
Right.
Let these people live their lives. They're trying. These young ladies
Yeah. Yeah.
live that. They made a mistake. We've all have chose the wrong man at some point in our life.
Right.
You should be thanking God that you didn't, even though you were in the midst of this, that you didn't get caught up, that you didn't end up in jail,
Right.
because you were doing some dirty dealing. And you
Right.
could have got caught up like your cousin got caught up, and
Right.
how some other folks have got caught up. So instead of getting on these platforms talking about what's gonna come out, how it's gonna come, think about what is it gonna benefit.
Right.
Put it in your book and make some more money like you did the first filthy book.
Right. Right.
Put it in that. You made money off of that.
Promote anything. I didn't get on here to say something was coming out. But the point is, you're acting like I don't have the right to tell my story. My name has been brought up in court, but I was not able to testify. My name has been brought up in court documents, but I have not yet spoke on it. And there have been lies that have been told on me. So the same way you don't like when people speak on your daughter and it's inaccurate.
Did your stuff show? Because whose documents did your stuff show up in? Because it didn't show up on any documents pertaining to Faith Rogers. I think all your
No, but you guys were the ones who spoke on me in that trial. That's where my name came up. So when you say in R. Kelly's trial.
In the New York trial.
Right, in the New York trial. So that's the only reason I ever speak on you guys. Other than that, I don't have anything to say about Faith. And I don't have anything to say about you.
Diva, I
Yes.
don't recall hearing her name mentioned when I was in that courtroom. When?
I was reached out to by reporters, all kind of stuff. I have the court transcripts.
I don't, and they said one of the Rogers said your name?
No, that when you were testifying and they were asking you questions about the I think it was the
when I was at Applebee's.
Yes, when you were at the restaurant, right.
Right, when I was at the restaurant. Well, I don't think, Cash, I mean, I don't think when I was asked those questions, that was really a direct for you, but it was a direct issue they were making a point that harassment had happened,
right.
But it was steered behind your friend, Mr. Russell. That's what the point they were trying to bring out.
Right.
Not so much as you did this, that, and the other. No, you and I had a conversation. You paid for my chicken. Thank you. I probably need to send that back. But you were like,
you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't.
But it was like I said, I didn't know you well enough to really say anything derogatory about you other than what happened that night. And I spoke my truth and what happened. But your name, so any other documents lately, that I believe that your ties to Mr. Russell.
Right.
No, and I get that. I get that totally.
Right.
And I know what I put myself in. I know.
Yeah.
Right, because you know what, and if you don't mind me interjecting here, because in the documents they did mention about how Cash was involved with Don Russell and the Surviving Lies Facebook page and
And I
things like
wasn't.
that. So
that was misconstrued.
they were mainly Cash. They were mainly tying you in with Don Russell, not so much R. Kelly.
No, I get that, but the thing is, I was used and things were implied that weren't really how they were. Like with the survivingthelies.com. Surviving the Lies was what I was going to call my book, What actually came out on Facebook is surviving lies. He
Right,
took
surviving
my
life.
name and he took out and he went and he did what he did. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
But they still painted it like it was, oh yeah, well, Cash says she got the domain for surviving the lies. It's a totally
But
different.
I mean, let's be real. The
Mhm.
very thing that you had in your phone is what he put on Facebook,
right,
right?
Right.
right,
So there is some connection with you two.
right.
He
So
sent that information
how
to
was
me
that
just
not
like he was
how was
sending
that
everything else
Right.
to
Now,
how
me.
my
was that
thing is, excuse me, I'm sorry, guys, again. My thing is, why was he sending you that shit? For what? For what? So that you could harass the Rogers? Because
No.
that's what it sounds like to me. I mean, why
No,
would he send you that?
whatever these were, because honestly, they looked ridiculous. But whatever these these shoot, what do you call it? Not Photoshop, but
They were pictures.
PowerPoint.
Oh, the
Whatever these
PowerPoint stuff. Okay.
PowerPoints was that he was putting together, I
Right.
guess this was his alleged research that he called himself doing
Right.
on survivors. Let me tell you something. I had so many of those emails from Don that I hadn't even looked at because I never planned on helping him with what he was trying to do. So they were there, but I never looked at them. When I saw that one with Faith, I was like, okay, wait a minute, what is this? And the only reason that brought me cause for alarm was because, I saw that she was indisposed in them. So
Right.
you picture me. I'm sitting here, I'm trying to get a story. Yeah, I done told some lies over here. Yeah, I done told some lies over there. But hell, I didn't sign up to commit no damn crimes.
Right.
So when I'm when John Jelena called and said, okay, somebody called in a gun threat or whatever, I never thought in a million years this dude was gonna call in a gun threat. That is the dumbest thing anybody could do, period. Like, what were
But
you?
see, they sent that, but there was text messages between the two of you talking about delete the messages because you don't
And
want
guess what?
Coco
And
to
I
see
guarantee
them.
you, what did they say? And they said she never deleted them. He said delete the messages. First of all,
Right. You didn't
Don
delete
used to
them.
lie and say that he had a degree in IT. If you got a degree in IT, you're gonna know that the feds can pull up any mess. Once you send anything out, it's in the cloud. There is no deleting anything.
Right. Like
So
the star 6 7 to hide the number.
yeah,
Right.
that was just
Right.
stupid. All of it was stupid. I had no clue that this man was gonna call in a gun threat. Period. I did not know that. Now, did he say something about, oh yeah, he was gonna
Now
try to
wait.
get a
Now
cease and
question,
desist?
Cash. Didn't you say
All right.
something? Was it you or the mom that said something about? Well, we have to get an approval from R. Kelly first. Don't make no moves.
Oh,
Was
I
it
don't know
you, the
nothing
one that
about
said
that, so
that?
that must have been his mom.
So it was his mom. Mm,
Yeah, I don't know nothing about that. But you know, I mean, I didn't know that he was gonna do what he ended up doing. And
okay, so
so
oh
when
my
I did
God.
get to the
Oh,
hotel,
wait, Mama. Go ahead. Let Mama say something real quick. Go ahead, Mama.
I said if you didn't know and you weren't aware, you owe my daughter an apology.
Right. That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying, Mama.
You owe my daughter an apology because evidently you got yourself caught in up in something that you weren't aware of.
no, I wasn't. And that's why when I got to the hotel, that was the whole reason in me showing you. That was the reason. Because if he's crazy enough to call in a gun threat, I don't know what
But
he's
what
gonna
got
do.
me is when y'all were trying to get Faith to get in the truck. I don't know who that was on her phone, and that
Okay,
I was
this is what happened. This is what happened with that. We left because Angelo was just like, listen, it's too much going on because I didn't understand what was going on. It was so much chaos going on
it
once
was
we got.
chaos. Well, let me not to cut you off. When I came down those steps, okay, when
Mhm.
we got back after the bomb threat, everybody, Faith was very, 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 her anxiety was very high.
Right.
But number one, you think you're going to pick her up in a sprinter that she was held in for hours. So she couldn't get in a sprinter. You put
Oh, no, no,
every,
no, no, no. We didn't try to get her in the sprinter. This is what happened.
no,
When
no, you weren't in a sprinter. Y'all were in an expedition or something. I'm talking about when it all started. When
Oh,
we
okay.
got back to that hotel and all of the commotion, everybody was on 12 at that hotel.
Right.
All I can recall very clearly, everybody was saying they got tapes on all of y'all. If I can't say, I'm not gonna say who was saying it,
Right.
but that's what was going on all upstairs.
And
All
I remember you
upstairs.
told me that. And I was like, okay, so is that why everybody
It
was
was,
so.
yes, that's why everybody was. It was just a mess, and everybody was like, "Well, who have not me?" Because I know I mean, but the victims, the other victims
Right to the girls.
were, they were saying, "Oh, she's got videos of you, she got videos of this," so it was just crazy.
And see, I didn't
So
know any of that was going on. So when Angelo
I
came off
wasn't
the
Wow.
even up there.
elevator,
I didn't see you till I came down the stairs. That's when Tim came up and he got Jocelyn,
mm-hmm,
and I
mm-hmm.
came in down the elevator behind them, and that's when I saw you. You spoke to me. Maybe you don't remember that. You spoke to me, and I asked you, "Who are you?" Then you said, "Can you come over here?" Because you
No,
were
now that didn't happen that way, Kelly. I'm sorry. I
okay.
was sitting on the couch
Okay,
next to
that's
Jory
fine. You say what you want.
because
You were looking very startled. Lifetime was, I think they had whoever that young lady was with you put out the hotel. Me and you, I don't know if we went over to a phone booth or something like that, and you asked me what was going on.
Mm.
You recall that? You remember? You recall me and you going off to the side?
what I recall is me sitting on the couch because first of all of us was sitting there. Jongela had done went upstairs to where Kitty and all of them and Drea and everybody
That's
was
where
at.
I was. That's where I
So
was, up there with all them. I was
so
up
all
there with
I
all them.
know is Mike tapped Tim and said, "You might want to get Jongelyn because she looked like something going on up there." So he was like, "What?" So he went upstairs. Jory was still down there. Jai was still down there, or Jay, however you say her name. She was still down there. You came up.
I made
Now you said
Jory
it
and
didn't happen
John
this
go
way.
to their room. It was so much chaos, and I was concerned about those young ladies because they were underage, seeing all these adults and all this going on, and I told them, go to your hotel room, and they went to their room.
Well,
Right.
They went
beyond
to
that,
their room.
all I know is me and Kelly barely got to talk in there because Tim came over there with the commotion. Then Angelo
You're
came off
right.
the elevator like, I wanted to speak to you. I wanted to speak to you. So all of us go upstairs. When Angelo said, leave, I'm going to get a hotel room down the street, whatever he said, and we'll talk there because it's too much going on. When we left, I got a block call from your daughter. And she said, come back here and talk to me because I know
You're absolutely
that you
right.
have
She,
something of me.
she
And I
had
was
John
like, wait a
Dylan's
minute.
phone. She had John Dylan's phone because that's
Hmm.
how, and because of all the commotion was going on, John Dylan
Hmm.
John Dylan didn't want to give Faith your phone number, but Faith took John Dylan's phone, and that's when she called you and said, "You have something
Yeah, she was
of
like,
me."
come back, talk to
Right,
me. I know you have something. And I was like, well, wait, calm
right.
down, calm down. I was like, because she said something about, I got pictures of you here with us and I'll give them to your daddy or something. I said, wait a minute, wait. I said, you don't have to talk to me like that. I said, if you want to talk, I said, I'll come back to talk to you just because that's who I am. Like, you don't have to do all that. But I said, but I'm not coming back to that hotel because I don't know what's going on and it's too much going on. So she was like, well, I could get on an Uber. It doesn't matter. Like, she was just like, it don't matter. But I'm the one who said I'm not coming back to that hotel because it's too much going on and I didn't know what was going on. So at that
All
point,
I
she,
recall, I don't even recall. All I know, Faith took off, and she was on her phone, and y'all was saying, "Get in this truck over here," and I'm telling her, "No, you're not getting in nobody's truck. I don't know who these people are," and that's when I spotted Applebee's, and
well,
I said,
yeah,
"Tell them to
because
meet us
we
at
was
the
trying to
Apple."
figure out where we could talk privately because of what it was about that somebody wouldn't hear. But then I was like, no, I don't want her getting in the car because I don't want nothing to be said. So that's when we decided on Applebee's.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw Applebee's, and I said, "Faith, tell them to meet us at Applebee's because it was walking distance."
So a lot of this seems like a lot of miscommunication and
No, it really is. It really is
right.
because I think they felt like I leaked that audio recording. I did not leak that audio recording.
Leak
Dawn
what
took that
audio recording?
recording.
Leak
The
what
ones of
audio
Tim.
Wait,
recording?
wait.
The ones of Tim.
Miss Jones, Mama says leak to what audio recording?
Those audios of Tim. I didn't put the audio of Tim
Oh,
talking about Faith out.
about Faith, about Faith.
I'm not worried about that, but and I'm not really, you know, it does. I don't care who say Faith lied, this, that, and the other. Faith, it happened. It has happened. It's over.
Right.
Yeah.
She's trying to move on.
Right.
She has not. She is not out here trying to keep her life connected to R. Kelly.
Right.
Even though it will forever be.
Right.
They lie. Oh, she got Kelly on her name. She tattooed her.
But I just wanted to make that clear. Like, I've never bashed her because I don't see a reason to bash her. Even when I sat at that table, I identified, I understand what she went through. Like I said, my only problem was I'm being attacked because people think that I'm blackmailing people at gunpoint, and I'm like, yo, that's not the case. So
Right. So it
if
was
that
all,
was
it
the
all had to do with like
miscommunication,
And then not only that, you tried to discount on that interview that you did with Larry. You said that Faith was lying. She did not have no seizure. Blah blah blah. How
well,
could you say
because
that?
hold on, let me say this. The
Yeah, but
reason
I
I
noticed
said
that you
that,
did not
the
speak on
reason
it just
I
now
said
when
that,
Mrs. Rogers spoke on it.
no, she's
You
still
didn't
on
say nothing
here.
this time.
She's
You
still
didn't
on
say.
here.
I
She's
know.
still
I'm
on
just
here.
saying you did not say nothing this time.
Yes, I
That
did. And
you
I'll
did
say
not
it
say that she
again.
didn't have no seizure. You did not
To
say that
my
she did not.
knowledge, hold on. To my knowledge, she did not have a seizure because to my knowledge that night, her and Summer Bunny went out that night. Now, if she had a seizure some other point through the night, then I don't know about it.
Okay. Let me help you, Miss Jones. When Faith, nowhere. It's in the medical record. It's in the hotel records. I have the record. Why would I lie and say my daughter had? Who does? Well, you may know
Listen,
somebody who does
what
that.
I'm saying is, I get what you're saying that you don't play about stuff like that.
Wait, Cash, let her finish, Mama.
I don't play when it comes to my. I don't have again. I don't have anything.
Oh, you went out, Miss Rogers.
I said I don't have anything to lie. Why would I make up a lie that my daughter had a seizure?
Listen, at the point where it was brought to me and they
Wait,
telling me
wait,
I
Cash,
have,
let her finish saying it, Mommy.
You would have seen the ambulance at the hotel. I don't play when it comes to Faith's life. That ain't no joking. Anxiety causes her to have seizures. Why she has seizures is nobody's business. But nevertheless, I don't play when it comes. That's why I keep her quiet. Because you know what? I want her to live. And I want her life to be full.
Right.
as it should be.
On her seizures. And she was highly stressed that night. And so people so worried about her and Summer and what's this and what's that. That Summer ain't none of y'all's business either. Their relationship ain't the world's business either. Call them what you want to call them. I've never raised a whore. I don't have a whore today. She'll never be a whore. She don't have to be a whore.
None of them girls are whores.
None of the girls are whores, that's what you label. People label them as whores because they go out, they dress a certain way,
right?
Whatever. And whoever decides to go do whatever they do, that's on them. That's their business.
That's right.
I'm not concerned. My concern was Faith Rogers, and Faith Rogers' concern when she came out was because she saw joy. And she did the right thing. Right. And I would be a terrible parent not to stand with my child on the decision she made when she made it.
That's right, Mama.
I wouldn't be that mother. But one thing about her mama and her